Okay, we're going to get started. This is Unit 23 for Spanish 2 and 3. This is the agenda for today. We're going to go over our calendar, week 7, like we do. Our essential question for the week. Vocabulary will be on music and grammar. We're going to study comparatives and superlatives. And I just did a file transfer on Spanish comparatives. It's a worksheet that I want you guys to use as practice when we're done going over the grammar part. So you can access it if you are joining me via Blackboard Collaborate as well. Here is our week 7 calendar. Okay, so we're finishing up our Unit 22 tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're starting Unit 23. So today we're getting a preview of the vocabulary and the grammar that you're going to have all next week. Okay? Any questions in regard to the calendar right now? Nope? Okay. Here's the essential question. And this is for your notes. If you're going to turn them in to your homeroom teachers, you can do so. Those students who are joining me via Blackboard, you need to turn in your essential question response so you can get credit. If you are here in person, you'll get automatic credit. So what are the differences between comparatives and superlatives in Spanish? So we have these in English as well, but we want to be more specific to our Spanish language development. What are the differences between comparatives and superlatives in Spanish? Okay, give me a smiley face when you are done writing it down, and then I can move on. Smile. I'll just give you guys a little thing to put up with your smiley face. Okay, so it looks like we are okay with this slide. Again, what are the differences between comparatives and superlatives in Spanish? Okay, here is our vocabulary. We have 5 sets in Middlebury, okay? And I'm going to cover the first 2 sets right now. This is on music, la música. We have la canción, the song, la banda, the band. It could be for jazz or rock music, a band. El coro, choir. El disco, an album, record, CD. We probably don't use that as much anymore, right? Everything's like streamed. El instrumento, musical instrument. El concierto, the concert. Y tenemos el jazz. So these are types of music. El jazz music. La música clásica, classical music. La música popular, popular music. La música rock music. Yeah, that one's pretty obvious. La música hip hop. Yeah, another one that's very easy to remember. Y la música rap. Rap music. Okay, so I think you guys will do very well in distinguishing the different types of music on your quizzes and exams. They sound very similar. We have a lot of cognates here. Questions? Okay.
No, I was just wondering what would techno music be.
Música techno.
Oh, that's right.
La música techno, yeah. They're missing that one there. I'm sure we can think of other ones, that other categories of music as well. Okay, los instrumentos, instruments. Anyone play an instrument here? ¿Alguien toca instrumento?
I don't want to pick up the banjo.
Banjo. Más o menos. Piano. Guitarra. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so here are some of the instruments for your set 3. We have el piano. That one's another easy one to remember. La guitarra, el violín, la flauta, la guitarra eléctrica y tocar un instrumento. To play an instrument. So these are some of the instruments that you're going to go over. Actually, the only ones for this unit. Oh, there's my other set, sorry. Then we have el guitarrón. That's common in Latin America. It is a 6-string bass guitar. So it's kind of a type of guitar, guitarrón. El clarinete is the clarinet. La batería eléctrica. So you see the word electric there, the electric drum sets. La trompeta, el tambor, y el saxofón. The saxophone. Okay. And our last set here is on our verbs, nuestros verbos. We have tocar la batería, cantar. ¿Alguien canta aquí? Any of you can sing?
I wish.
¿No? Escuchar música. To listen to music. Okay. Escuchar música. Sí. El cantante is the singer. El guitarrista, the guitar player, y la orquesta, the orchestra. So for this unit, we have a lot of cognates, a lot of them that are going to be very easy for you to remember. So make sure that you have your list and you study them. Okay, so let's go over a couple questions here. Una electric drum set puede salir carísima. Sí. Batería eléctrica. Okay, vamos a ver. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So I'll give the students who are joining me via Blackboard an opportunity to answer. Okay, so they're saying C as well. Let's take a look. Yeah, batería eléctrica. Let's go on to number 2.
Lleva mucho tiempo aprendiendo a tocar bien el clarinete.
Sí.
You're going to get this one. So piano is the same, piano. Trumpet is what? Trompeta, and then clarinete, and flute is another one that looks very similar. Flauta, la flauta. So all of these, if I would have given you a choice for here, you probably would have still gotten it correct. So we have that one correct. Muy bien. Sí. Okay, number 3.
Un grupo de personas
Okay, look at those keywords. Grupo, group, que tocan música rock es una. You're saying D band? Okay, so un grupo is what? A group, personas, people. A group of people that tocan música rock. What type of music? That tocan, it comes from tocar, to touch, to, in this case it would be to play. To play rock music is a band. Correct. Good job. Okay. Good job on the vocabulary. Now we're going to get to, yes, the hard part. Okay. So, for comparatives, they're also known as comparisons. Okay. But the grammar term is comparative. These are used to express inferiority, superiority, and equality. So one's better than the other, or they're the same. And so we have a couple of rules for comparative. And I gave you this, the worksheet. Where is it? This one. So I just gave you the rules for the comparative, not the privilege. Those are going to be at the end. So comparative is when you compare two different things. Okay, we do the same thing in English. So you say something is more or less better than something else. Okay, so in Spanish we would do the same thing. Más o menos, and then whatever you're comparing, and then you have to use que. So this should be actually a review from Spanish 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say which one.
Yeah, so Spanish 1 is just, actually last week they went over this for the first time. So this should be the second time for you guys. And then our second one is for equality, to express equality. So when something is as great as something else. Okay, so this is the equation you use. You use tan, whatever you're comparing, and then como. So tan and como, or más o menos que. Okay, and then you have to remember as well, we went over this in Spanish 1, so it's a review, that you have to match them with gender and number. So if it's more than one, you have to say tanto, or tanta, or tanto, tanta. Okay? And como. Okay? So let's look at the examples. That's going to help a lot more. So if you want to say you are prettier than she is, that's not a nice thing to say. You want to say that. You're going to say tú eres más, and then guapa que ella. And you want to say Juan talks slower than Paco. Juan habla más. You have your mom. Your descriptive word despacio, and then your que, and you're comparing your two people. I have less patience than he does. Yo tengo menos. So we're going to use menos instead of más. So we didn't talk about less. And then patience is paciencia, and then your que, okay, whoever you're comparing yourself to. And then here is the equality part. So you're saying that Charlotte is as smart as Anthony. They have the same thing in English, right? We just use as, and then our descriptive word right here. Charlotte is tan inteligente como Anthony. So like you're saying that we're a little more equal. Nosotros, oh, we have as many shoes as they do. And I wanted to use this example because in this case we're using a noun and it's more than one, right? Shoes. How do you say shoes in Spanish? Zapatos. So los zapatos would be the masculine or feminine. Masculine, and it's zapatos is it plural or singular? Plural, because you have two. So you have to make it match this one. So it's not going to stay the same.
See your ego over here, aren't you?
Nosotros tenemos tantos, because we're talking about los, more than one. It's not going to say tan, it has to be tantos, zapatos como ellos. So I wanted to show you this last part, like I said. So I'll repeat it just in case my students in Illuminate didn't hear that part. So see how that last one did not stay the same because we're dealing with a noun here. It's a masculine plural, so this has to change masculine plural as well. Tantos, from tan to tantos. Okay, so I want us to watch a video. I have it posted in the chat. So I want you guys to go and watch it for the first 7 minutes or so, okay? And then you can come back and we'll discuss. So you guys are here with me. You'll listen to it right here.
Aprender a hacer las comparaciones de desigualdad en español. Before watching this video, you might watch the video on physical descriptions and the one on SARE plus descriptions and physical characteristics. In this video, we're going to be comparing alligators who aren't the same. Let's try comparing them first when one is more of something than another. To do that, we'll use más for more and que for than. Pause the video if you need more time and check the word bank if you aren't sure about a word. ¿Quién está más contento? Javier está más contento que Pedro. ¿Quién es más pobre? Pedro es más pobre que Javier. ¿Quién es más inteligente? Mateo es más inteligente que Santiago. ¿Quién es más gracioso? Juanito es más gracioso que Don Ignacio. ¿Quién es más gordo? Mateo es más gordo que Juanito. ¿Quién es más baja? Beatriz es más baja que Jimena. ¿Quién es más gorda? Beatriz es más gorda que Jimena. ¿Quién es más alta? Jimena es más alta que Beatriz. ¿Quién es más serio? Mateo es más serio que Santiago y Juanito. ¿Quiénes son más bajos? Mateo y Juanito son más bajos que Santiago. ¿Quiénes son más bonitas? Jimena y Linda son más bonitas que Beatriz. ¿Quién es más alto? Santiago es más alto que Jimena y Linda. That's pretty easy. Now, what about if we wanted to compare them when one is less of something than the other? Then we'll use menos for less and que for than. Let's try some. ¿Quién es menos delgada? Beatriz es menos delgada que Jimena. ¿Quién es menos bonita? Beatriz es menos bonita que Jimena. ¿Quién es menos baja? Jimena es menos baja que Beatriz. ¿Quiénes son menos gordas? Jimena y Linda son menos gordas que Beatriz.
You're talking about more than one, so you're going to say the ones that are.
¿Quién es menos alto? Juanito es menos alto que Don Ignacio. ¿Quién es menos gracioso? Mateo es menos gracioso que Juanito. ¿Quién es menos serio? Juanito es menos serio que Mateo. ¿Quién es menos gordo? Juanito es menos gordo que Mateo.
Okay, so let's just take a look here towards the end.
Let's look at the sentences with more than one gator in the first part. If the first part is,
Okay,
So we have the sentences here, and I wanted to see that. I wanted you guys to see the pattern. So we have más and the que, and then we have the menos and the que. Okay, so these again are for inequality.
you can always review the video and go back if you need more practice. But this is from, like I said, from Spanish 1, so this is should be a review. Okay, Are we back from watching the video? Just checking. Okay, good. So you can refer to it if you want more practice with comparatives, showing inferiority or superiority. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the comparatives before we go to superlatives.
So when you're comparing actions, so you're comparing verbs,
The order is going to change a little bit, okay? So you're going to have the verb before, and then the más or menos que, and then whatever you're comparing it to, okay? And same thing here. Tanto and como are going to be joining together. You're not going to have the adjective in the middle. This is for verbs. Okay, so let's take a look at the examples. So we have, you guys walk less than they do. Okay. Vosotros camináis menos que ellas. So see how
menos and que are, in this case, are connected.
Tim eats as much as Dave does. Tim come tanto como Dave. And Holly talks as humbly as Jason does. Holly habla tan
Humildemente como Jason.
Okay, so if you want to make it a negative comparison,
You're just simply going to add the no at the beginning.
okay? So,
Same thing. Nosotros no
camináis menos que ellos. Don't walk less than they do. Tim no come tanto como Dave. Tim doesn't eat as much as Dave. Holly no habla tan humildemente como Jason. So all you have to do is put the no in front of the verb if you want to say they don't. Okay, and then you need to keep in mind we have some irregular comparisons. We have mejor, which means better. Peor, which means worse. Mayor, which is greater or older. And menor, lesser or younger. Okay? So if we want to say better, we're not going to say más bueno or worse, menos bueno. We're going to use mejor and peor instead. Okay? Ella es mayor que su hermana o hermano. Marcos juega peor que Paco. Okay? So superlatives.
What are superlatives? Okay, so comparatives, what did we say comparatives are? Just to recap that. Comparing what? Yeah, so you're comparing two items, one is inferior, or we talk about how one is superior over the other. Superlatives is actually, we use these in English as well, and this is the extreme degree, okay? So if you're talking about the fastest, okay, of all, okay, that would be the superlative. So when we're comparing, we have faster, right? I run faster than you. If you're talking about superlative, I am the fastest in the class. Okay, you're at the highest extreme degree. So in English, the superlative is formed by either saying most or least. Or you can add the EST at the end of your verb, your suffix. Okay, fastest, slowest, okay. But in Spanish, we have our formula, which is this one right here. So you have the definite article, noun, más o menos, and the adjective. And then in this case, we're going to use de. So let's look at the examples. Rogelio es la persona más amable de toda la familia. So you're saying Rogelio is the kindest or most kind person in the whole family. So you're going to say la persona, the definite article and noun, either más o menos, the adjective, and then in this case we're using de instead of que. Okay? Because you're saying of the whole family. So here you're not comparing, you're saying that this is the extreme. Max is the least handsome of them all. Max es el menos guapo. Okay?
And let's see. You can also have superlatives with ísimo. So instead of doing what I just did, you can have words such as these. Dificilísimo, very difficult job. Riquísima, una torta riquísima, an extremely delicious rich cake. Or un árbol altísimo, a very tall tree. Okay, so as you see the ísimo, that could be a superlative as well. Okay, that's extremely, whatever adjective you're using here, with the ísimo. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work on our comparative. Okay, I gave you this sheet. It has both of the rules for Spanish comparative, okay, with the más and menos, and then also the equal one. So we're going to work on that. And then those of you who are joining me via Elluminate, make sure to answer the essential question 7 so you can get credit for today's session. Also, make sure to download the comparative worksheet that you can work on today. Right after the recording, you can say if you have any other questions or if you want to review your answers with us. Thank you for joining me.